I'm gonna hit. All righty. Welcome, everybody. We are going to be talking to new brand ambassadors about the things going on in their business tonight. So if you are brandy new, welcome. If you have been around a long time, you are totally invited on this call. So don't let the title scare you off, because there's always things to learn. I'm learning new things every single day. So let me see if Carissa, are you on yet? I'm not sure if Chris is on, because actually I think they're sick. People are still popping on. I know sometimes popping on these calls is like sliding into home plate. You're like last minute popping on. All right. All righty. Well, let's see. There's Carissa. All right, if you are a new ambassador on here tonight and you want to get coached, can you just pop in the chat? Because actually I haven't heard back from any of the people I invited to get coached live on the call tonight. So if you are somebody that would love to get coached and chat with Carissa and or me, please go ahead and shout that out. If you have a teammate that you think might be game, go ahead and send them a private message and or pop it in the chat. Tag them. All right, I'm going to kick us off with prayer really quick, and then we'll get going. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just want to thank you for this day. I thank you for the opportunity that we have to just learn together. I just pray that you bless and cover our time tonight as we just talk about our businesses, as we kind of look at different facets of it, as we learn from our mistakes and or what we deem as failure, which nothing is a failure if we're learning. And so I just pray you give us favor, help us to be tenacious and resilient and just people of character that are diligent and faithful in the stewardship that you've given us with the opportunity with Plexus. We just thank you for all the people that were meant to serve this year yet. And I just pray that you would align the conversations, the connections, the networks overlapping, or not even overlapping, but just networks connecting with the Plexus ambassadors on this call tonight, that you would just bring the right people to them at the right time. I pray that you would just give us grace as we navigate the ins and outs of this business, and as we learn to develop our personal growth and just learn to serve people better and learn how to be better connectors and better communicators. I just pray that you cover our gaps. I thank you that you can help our posts to be seen by the right people, because we're willing to help the one that you send us today. We're willing to help the one you send us tomorrow. And we just pray that you give our posts extra favor. I pray that you would just give us wisdom as we move forward. And all of us have different skill sets, different networks we're working with, different fears. Maybe we all have the same fears, I don't know, but we're in different spots in our journey. So I just pray for extra grace. I pray for peace. I pray for joy, like just joy in the journey as we work this opportunity. And so I just commit the night to you. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. All righty. Let me see what the chat is saying. Oh, testimonies regarding cholesterol. Great question. I'll connect with you after, or Kim, if you can message your sponsor, that she can connect you to testimonies that we have. All right, if you guys are able to pop your cameras on, it makes it so much easier, so much more interactive for those of us hosting the call to not just see a sea of names without faces. Thank you. All right.
Hey, Megan, Rachel said she'd be up for coaching if you have a spot.
Okay, awesome. All right, it looks like Margaret and Rachel are game. Carissa, do you have a Coach E for tonight?
If my new builder Cheryl hops on, then I would love for her to unmute. I don't see her yet, but I'm going to text her. She's probably getting kids to bed. Maybe she can hop on in the second half.
Okay. Is your voice holding up okay, or do you want me to?
I'll probably chime in
Okay.
as needed, but it's pretty bad.
Okay. So sorry.
Ugh, it's okay.
Ah,
It's a long week.
yes. All right, really quick, before we kick off completely, I didn't have time
Hang on. Did you want to record this?
we are.
Okay, sorry.
We're good. Um, okay, before we kick off, right, delve into coaching, there's something that I want to do with you guys. It's going to be basically I'm going to put it out there for you guys to start thinking about it and actually journal it down. So if you have your white paper that you showed up with, or your clipboard or whatever, get ready, because I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that you don't have to have all the answers tonight, but I want you to actually work on it this week, leave it out on your counter, pray over it, invite, teammates, upline, hubby, friends to chime in, because there's some things that we have to continue to get better at. And this is there was a little blip on my team call agenda that I didn't get to in light of marketing. So this is basically like a really, really blitzy mini workshop on marketing. And we're going to just breeze through it really fast. But I would like to invite you to write down your 5 pillars of you on social media. And so what I mean by this is, how do you serve and show up on your social media? Okay, so 2 to 3 of them are going to be like you as a person, and then 2 of them are going to be related to Plexus. Okay. And so there's no right or wrong answer with this, and you're already doing it. Like, if you're showing up consistently on social media, you're already posting about like 3 to 5 things. Okay. But I want you to really hone in on this. Carissa and I both want you, and Justin, all of the team leaders want you to hone in on this, not to make it like something super stressy for you, but to actually just get clarity on what you post about. And it's actually really fun. So for me personally, maybe it would be helpful. So if some of you on this call have done this exercise already, pop it in the chat. And this is the thing. It's like it's kind of like a working title when you're writing a paper. It's like a movable, editable thing. Okay. So for me personally, I wrote down mold toxicity and autoimmune recovery. Another one is exercise motivation. Another one is family life, intentional character development, education. And then the next one is the beauty of time flexibility, work from home opportunity. And so I am honing in on like my top 3 to 5 things. And like, I'm already posting about these things, but it gives clarity to like what I'm sharing about when I show up on social media. Does that make sense? Because we're not sharing everything about our life, right? But there's probably 3 to 5 things that you love to talk about. So what would those 3 to 5 things be? Okay, so write that down. And really, these should not be hard things to talk about, because it's something that they're things that you're passionate about, you know? And when I was asking Justin, like what were his things, he's like, well, he rattled them off. He's like, faith, family, and food. That's what I post about. That's what I love. That's what I love to talk about. And sorry, not faith, family, food. He said faith, family, and fitness. Sorry, I just shared Lisa's. Lisa's a jewel on my team. Faith, family, and food. Or sorry, fitness. Justin likes to talk about fitness. And so pop in the chat if you have some. Okay, so Carissa popped hers in. So she talks about reset, financially providing for her family through med school, healthy body image, godly motherhood and child discipleship, getting kids to eat healthy, thrift, fashion, or beauty. And yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. So if any of you have some things that are popping off in your brain, put them in the chat. Like, let's share. I think this is something that is really fun. Like, social media is a space where we can get creative and share little pieces of our life to like shine bright in a dark world, right? Because obviously we're sharing on social media, yes, to connect with people that are like-minded, that share similar interests, and also to find out who would be interested in what we have to offer through Plexus. And so our posting is a way to add value, but also to connect with people who need what we have. So keep that in mind. Love it.
Can
Okay.
I chime something in here?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Megan and I recently watched 2 videos from Brenda Martin, who has gone from like 1,000 followers to 100,000 followers in a very short period of time, from getting really clear on what she posts about like this. And I thought I was already really, really clear, but listing these things out like this has made posting so much easier for me. And I actually have a little note in my phone that's entitled Hook Lines. And anytime I hear anything related to kind of my main things that I'm passionate about that grabs my attention, I jot it down in that note. And I have a little note as well of audios, like songs that I just want to use for reels, because that can kind of trip you up and slow you down sometimes. So I just have a list that I pull from. But it has made it like so easy to think of posts, because every time I hear something or read something, today Megan sent me a video from Tucker Carlson about Ozempic, and you know, some of the big one-liners that grabbed me, I wrote them down in my notes as a hook line, because we overcomplicate reels. And what Brenda Martin said was, it can be like B footage. It doesn't have to be pretty anymore. Pretty is out. So you can put like one clip in there and a hook line, an attention grabbing sentence on top of it, and bada bing, you're done. And the other thing she shared that really encouraged me was, it's okay if it's controversial. It's okay if some of the things that you're passionate about are not pleasing to everybody. In fact, what made a couple of her reels go really viral were some super, super negative feedback she got because of the size family she has and some of their lifestyle choices. And so that really helped me. This week, I shared a reel about classical Christian education, and it did really well. It got reshared by a famous preacher that I like to follow, and I got a negative comment on it. It said, "Imagine making a video about religious indoctrination." And I was like, yes, it's like Brenda. I was so happy about it. It didn't even bother me. She said that just sends more traffic your way on the algorithm. But it has given me a lot of clarity, and I'm finding myself throughout the day now realizing, oh, that's a quick line I can jot down and it can become a reel. Or, ooh, this is a cute little moment. I'm just going to grab a 10-second clip of it on my phone. And it's really simplifying coming up with content.
Yes. And you know what? This works whether you are new at posting or whether you are seasoned and have been, social media sharing for years and years. You know, getting clear on what you love to post about, I think is really helpful because it takes a lot of the thinking space out of it. Because you could be like, look at your list and be like, oh, I think today I'm going to talk about exercise motivation. And I'm going to weave plexus into it. Or maybe it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to do a value adding post or reel, and it's going to be about like some sort of intentionality. Maybe it's I wrote down a few things. So as after you put your 3 to 5 things down on paper, then I would make a couple, like get a piece of paper and just jot down ideas. Because sometimes on days when you're not feeling overly creative, you could be like, oh yeah, I took some video clips of the kids hunting or whatever. Maybe I'm going to do a how we afford to feed 7 kids. And we do it because we have gotten creative and told our kids for years, like, hey, as you get older, you're going to have to bring a fish to the table, so to speak. And so that's just like, think of fun little things that you could be sharing and adding value or educating or just something funny, even. I mean, that like, and people love to laugh. They like to see like little glimpses of your life. So as you're working on this, work on it this month. And I know some of us are doing like little reel a day challenge for those people that are game for venturing into the world of reels. If you are new on social media, work on your Facebook posting. Like that's a great place to start. So okay. And then I'm going to venture into the second little piece of this mini workshop, which is who so I should say, what are the characteristics of your ideal client? Perfect case scenario. Who do you want to attract to your business? Like what kind of person? Has anyone already written some things down maybe in the past, or has some things jotted down? Cassie, do you have some written down? Can you unmute and just share a couple of them?
Oh yeah. So one, I would, for me, when I say I like somebody but me, but more organized, things like that, we always need to find skills from other people, right? And so somebody that already is a leader in this industry, not even this industry, but in our culture, an industry, a leader, a Christian would be incredible. Doesn't have to be, but somebody of faith would be amazing. Somebody that is a mom, if not somebody that is just looking for more income or more to do, like things like that. I have a note somewhere I've got to find in my notebook, but I have like 10 characteristics of what that look like. I'll find them.
Oops, sorry, I was muted. Pop in the chat, just one thing. Like, let's just help each other think through, like, what would an ideal client be for you? And there's no right or wrong answer either. Because if you're branding new and you're like, you know what, I would just love somebody that would be consistent on their products, like just consistent. That is a characteristic. Faith-focused, strong leader, bold in truth, encouragers, go-getters, influential, love it. Love. Okay, so keep going in the chat there. And may this be food for thought. And I will invite you to have conversations outside of this call on what this looks like. Okay, because this will help us get better as we are more clear on who we're trying to attract into our business, what our purpose is as we're making social media posts. And it's really fun. I had a lot of fun thinking through that this week, and it's really shifted some of my activity, actually. So, okay, love. One thing I will say, as you guys are popping in like your pillars, you may have little sub pillars or like little things underneath each like larger pillar, and that's totally fine. So you might just even bullet point some ideas, like, for example, if one of my pillars is health, I would be talking about mold toxicity, autoimmune recovery. I'll be talking about Plexus supplements. So like there's multiple things you can talk about under the umbrella of that one point. Does that make sense? So anyways, yes, love it. Okay, so be sure to look in the chat at all these ideas. Okay. Amber, who did you say your gal was? Heather? What's her name, Heather?
Rachel. It's
Rachel.
the Rachel with no last name.
No last name, Rachel. All right, well, go ahead and unmute. Oh, I think I see her. While she's unmuting, I'm gonna have Margaret. Oh, there she goes. Okay.
I'm here now. Sorry about that.
Hey, welcome to the call.
Hey, thank you.
Is this your first coaching?
Yes.
Okay. Well, tell us, can you put your video on?
I can. Let me see if it's gonna work today. Come on. Come on. Oh, I have to, hold on, I gotta go into my settings.
Are you on a phone? You might have to swipe to like see that.
Yeah.
On the bottom, there's usually like a little video camera icon. And you can click on. Well, while you're looking for the icon, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey so far?
So I actually am very new. Just received my package a couple days ago. Started the reset today. And started the pink drink 2 days ago.
Okay.
Kind of trying something new. I've tried other things, in the past, just even dieting and things of that sort, just to try and get healthier, and it hasn't really been too easy to do.
Okay. Well, welcome. and congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad you're here. You're in the right spot. Could I just say, you're in the best community ever, best teams ever, and you're in good hands. So excited for you to experience the reset and Plexus products. Are you in our reset group? Whoops, can she hear me? Rachel, are you there? We might have lost her. Okay, well, we may come back to Rachel. I would love to hear more of her story and what she's excited about with Plexus. Oh, here she comes. She's coming back in. But she's still, it looks like she's still on the Zoom. That's interesting. Hey, Rachel, can you hear us now?
Sorry about that. I
Oh, no
got
worries.
kicked out, but I'm back.
So sorry. We didn't mean to kick you out.
I think I did it myself somehow, but
Well, you're learning, you're navigating new technology, maybe. Okay, are you in the reset group?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll
That's a
make
good
sure
question.
to get added to that. Carissa and her team are hosting in that reset group. So it's full of amazing content. So if you or anyone that you guys are all helping get started on the reset, make sure they're added to that support group. It's actually a huge archive with, live videos that have been recorded and past events that we've hosted. So that'll be amazing as you experience your reset.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Are you game for referring some friends?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what your thoughts are there. Have you made a little post yet, or have you told anybody what you're doing?
I have not. I figured I would test it myself initially
Mhm.
and then kind of work it from there. I know my cousin brought me onto this
Mhm.
as she's been doing it and had some great success. So kind of just starting from there.
Okay. Have you thought of some people that may start with you, like almost like accountability partners?
Not that I know of yet.
Okay. Well, you may start thinking along those lines because when I first started, I started like after I got my products, it was so strange. I started to think about different people in my life that had told me about their health issues that had to do with
Mhm.
inflammatory bowel issues. I don't even know why I knew this about people, but
Mhm.
I just like I felt like it was actually God that kept bringing people to my mind, like different people. And so I just jot them down on a little note card or a sticky note. And then when I would sit down and nurse my baby, I just reached out to them. Like it felt really natural, really organic. And, you know, I was, for me, I was recovering from mold exposure. And I had people that I connected with that had similar autoimmune issues as me. And so it felt really natural just to tell them like, hey, I started these supplements and I think they could be a blessing to you too. Let me know if you want to, if you want to learn more about them. I think that they could be a huge blessing. And so, and
Mhm.
I guess when I look back, I was someone that was already, sharing about health stuff and referring people to the local health food store for different herbs and things. So this felt like an extension of kind of what I was already doing. And so keep that in mind as you experience the products, because you may have some people pop in your mind that
Mhm.
would be an easy mention. The other thing, which I was telling people on our team call just a few minutes ago, the beautiful thing about our Fast Start program is that it's highly customizable to whatever you want. And so if you want a product experience first, you can totally do that. And some people, come out of the gates right when they order their products, they're telling their mom, their bestie, they're posting it on Facebook, like, gathering people to do this as a community. Other people are more private and don't ever want to tell a soul, which is totally fine. There's VIP customers that are secretive, and that's fine. And then there's some people that, like Jen, we were just talking about her on the last on the team call. And she wanted a product experience first. And so she started in September and went back to her doctor in December and was able to get well, she got blood work back and they said, well, you're out of the pre-diabetic range. Your A1C is back into normal range. And also they were able to cut her meds in half, her thyroid medication in half. Because the Plexus products had helped so much in those 3 months. And so the beautiful thing is this, you know, you can share with nobody at this point, or if you start to think of some people, it may be one of those very organic things for you, like it was for me in the beginning. I'm curious because of the Fast Start bonuses this month. Do you have any financial reason where it would be helpful to get your products covered? I'm just looking at like the Fast Start bonuses and stuff. Like, would the financial piece relieve stress in the budget at all? Curious.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Has Amber or I don't know, is she level 2 to you, Amber? Your cousin?
She's Brittany's cousin, the one that went Fast Start
Got it.
Silver last month.
Okay, got it. Has Brittany or Amber sent you the little February referral bonus chart?
Yes, Brittany sent it to me the other day.
Okay.
Yes.
Would it be helpful to make that $340 and maybe even, you know, cover the cost of your own products for next month?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
What's coming up for you? Do you have like any fears popping up about telling people about it? What are your thoughts there?
No, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with, you know, telling people.
Mm-hmm.
Like my biggest thing was I wanted to test it and see, you know, what is this like? What, you know, what are you gonna feel? How does it taste? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I am definitely like even in my own job, I can definitely tell you why you need something and why it's gonna work for you type thing.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, there's no problem with that one at all.
Okay, got it. So it's more or less just wanting to put your own stamp of approval on it before you say anything to
Yes.
somebody. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Is there any particular wins that you feel like you need to notice or see before you share with someone?
Um, Honestly, haven't given much thought to that part of it yet.
Mhm.
Um, so far so good.
Okay.
Like I said, it's only been I'm on what day 3, but day 1 of reset.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, initially it was a little bit of a struggle this afternoon, and I was texting Brittany, and she kind of just, you know, walked me through it, and you know, remember, it's not gonna, you know, you just don't just give up. It's
Hmm.
so easy to just say, "All right, I can't. I'm gonna give up," and but yeah.
Um, well, and that's the cool thing is you may notice some tiny wins even this week.
Mhm.
So pay attention to like how you're feeling, what your body's telling you. I mean, there's some of us like myself that basically had detox symptoms for 4 to 6 months. And so I didn't share based on my own personal experience. I actually told all the moms about the Plexus supplements because our 4-year-old's eczema went away in a month of using the probiotic. And it was at that
Mm.
point I was like, oh my word, I have like tried to crack this code for way too long. And I just figured it out. It's gut health. Gut health and skin totally go together. So all the moms need to know. And so
Yeah.
I was like, once that happened, I was like, you know what? This has the ability to impact a ton of people because so many people struggle with things that link back to gut health. And like I was in the mode of like little tiny kids and like I wanted to help ourselves be healthier and not have stomach flu like all winter long. And I knew other moms like were looking for the same thing. And so I would just encourage you to be just open in case God brings you somebody that is complaining about, feeling crummy or complaining about whatever, feeling fluffy or just, having a lot of pain or inflammation. There's lots of things. So as you're just aware of, what people are saying, whether it's, you're scrolling on social media or people at work, you may have those opportunities to pop up sooner than you think. And you may have some friends that are totally game. If you were gonna come in with one buddy, who would that person be? You have like a ride or die
Ooh.
friend?
Ooh, that'd be, I don't know. Um, I don't honestly know.
Okay, that's totally
I'd
fine.
have to really think about that one.
Mhm. Well, I would just encourage you to pray and then just ask God, like, if there's somebody right now that needs what we have, He'll show you.
Mhm.
Like, He'll totally either put the person on your mind, or the person will literally say to you, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or, "Hey, this is how
Mhm.
I'm feeling. Oh my word!" You're like, "I'm just at the end, at my wit's end." So, I would just, yeah, encourage you with that. And also, if you're game for making little posts, the thing is you don't have to have massive wins for someone else to have health change. And so even if it's a post like my friend Malia posted, she did this cute little post, just she and her pink drink. And it was super simple. She was like, "Hey, me and my pink drink," and she had like 3 little bullet points on why she was doing it. Um, and it was day 1 of her reset. Day 1 of my reset, boom. And then she actually, I think, surprised herself with the amount of people that liked and commented. So sometimes it's one of those things where if you just put it out there, you never know who you'll connect with that's like, "Hey, I need to chat with you." And then you get
Yeah.
in conversation and you find out like, "Oh wow, you know, you're dealing with a lot of
Mhm.
things." And then the cool thing is like you don't have to know everything. You have your cousin and you have Amber to help, if you have a friend from work or you make the little post
Mhm.
on Facebook and someone's like, "Hey, I need that." They can help you make a product recommendation based on what that person is dealing with.
Mhm.
Well, I'm super
Yes.
excited for you.
Thank you.
Keep us posted on how your continuing journey goes.
Will do.
You're in great hands with Amber and your cousin. Is it
Thank you. Brittany.
Brittany? Okay. Very fun. Awesome. Well, do you have any quick questions for me?
Not at the moment. I have to say both Brittany and Amber have been, responsive and helpful so far. So I think I'm
Awesome.
good at the moment.
Sweet. Well, thanks for chiming in. I hope it wasn't too intimidating.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
Thank
good, good.
you.
Ah, awesome. All right. Carissa, is your gal on? Did she make it on?
I don't see her on, but I'm going to send her the replay of this. And I think it would be fun if we give a little tidbit to her, even though she's not on, because she did text me tonight. I think she's just not able to be on, but she sent messages today. By the way, y'all, you all should text EARN to, let me look up the number. Do you happen to know the number, Megan?
I do. Yep.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Let me snag it real quick.
I'll
It is
put it.
936-213-3090. Yeah, pop it in the chat.
Okay, 936-213-3090. Is that right? So this is a new way to get the Silver in 6 training into our new people's hands. And this is so graciously created by Melissa Eichenhorst out of her own pocket. And y'all know that she does a call every Sunday night with different Diamond teams hosting and sharing the opportunity. So if you are not in a regular rhythm of being in quality conversations with people who you want to do this business with you, here is your sign and here is your chance. If you can get one person there each week, that's not too tall of an order for any of us. Then your team will begin to grow. And at the end of this call, they encourage everybody to text EARN to this number. And this is an automated way for them to receive the Silver in 6 6-step training to make their first $300. And the magic of this, of course, is what we are doing with our people as they're working through these steps. So my friend Cheryl, hey Cheryl, shout out when you watch the recording. She was on the call Sunday. She texted Earn to this number, and she's been working through the daily texts as they come. So I would love for us to give her some feedback. She sent me a screenshot today, and she sent some messages today, and she got one response. And so I would just love it if, as a group, we could collectively practice our coaching skills, and give her some feedback on what you might say back to this person. So she reached out and followed up with somebody that she had started a conversation with. And her friend said, "Hey girl, all is well, just tired and exhausted. And it's okay. I know you've been going through a lot. So I've been praying for you and your precious family, and I appreciate it. I've just been overwhelmed with everything I've been going through. Still plan on looking more into it, but probably after I deliver." All right. So I know what I would say, and I'm happy to share. And I probably will text her later, but I would love to hear, and y'all don't have to type it in the chat. I mean, you could unmute. What might you say back to this person?
Carissa, can you read it again?
Sure. This is the friend's response to her follow-up. "Hey girl, all's well, just tired and exhausted. And it's okay. I know you've been going through a lot, so I've been praying for you and your precious family, and I appreciate it. I've just been overwhelmed with everything I've been going through. Still plan on looking more into it, but probably after I deliver." So I don't want to talk over anybody, but I hear a couple of pain points: tired and exhausted, pregnant, and not sure that the products would be a good idea for her now, and is putting it off till after she delivers, and overwhelmed. So what might, Cassie, you want to unmute and say what you might say back?
So I always use feel, felt, found. And so feel, felt, found is more like, oh my goodness, girl, I feel you. I know in this world, everything can keep us down and it makes us feel busy, especially with the things that are coming to you in the future, which is exciting. But I found that I was always going to be exhausted, even when I had a new child or something else, a new task on the way or ahead of me. And so I don't know if you would still be open to it, but if you're wanting to feel better sooner than later, I would love to talk to you or have an open door conversation of what more these products could offer you now instead of later, when you're going to be wishing you started these products sooner. Something to that nature.
Thank you. Feel, felt, found. So feel, felt, found would be, I totally understand how you feel. Here's a specific way I identify. I felt that way when XYZ, but here is what I found. Anyone else?
I was thinking of kind of the same idea of what Cassie was saying, but my thought was just saying, I totally understand. I remember when I was pregnant and feeling exhausted and overrun, and I have found that I wish I had these supplements when I was pregnant, because they would have addressed multiple of my issues. I had issues with heartburn and fatigue. I was struggling with my breast milk production after I delivered. And I would probably go into that a little bit and just ask her if she has heard of the gut connection between insulin production, and kind of ask her about that with breast milk production. But
I love that. And I would agree with naming a few pregnancy specific pain points that you dealt with that she's probably dealing with, because oftentimes people don't know what all this helps with. And when you name something and they go, "Oh, I'm struggling with that," ding, 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 that rings a bell. Here in a minute, Amber, I want you to read yours. But one thing I will also say is the overwhelm she's communicating when it comes to just looking into it. I get that. Like sometimes I do not want to get on a foreign website and try to find the information I need or the answers I want. So one thing I would do is I always try to make it my role to make this conversation and this process as easy as possible for them, because it's my job. I'm the professional. And so I'm over here to make this easy for you. So what I would probably do is say, "Hey, I totally get how overwhelming it must feel, even just to look into it all. Would it be okay if I sent you a testimony that I think you could relate with?" And then I would go find my testimony, because I have tons of pregnancy testimonies. But that way you're just feeding her the next little drip of belief building, and you're taking the work off of her, the overwhelm off of her of having to go and wade through the website or wade through the info sheet. Amber, are you able to unmute and read yours?
Sure. I just said, pregnancy is so exhausting. It's probably hard to think of one more thing to add to your life right now. And what I found is that the pink drink helps me get through the day without the caffeine. I so wish I would have had Plexus with my pregnancy. What if this could help you get through your day? And then I thought, adding into that probiotic, because I wish my kids would have had the probiotic as well, like pregnant mamas, so they would come out with less issues as well. But
Yes, and I love that you ended with a question. I love that you related with her. You named pain points that she's probably going through. And I would add too, like constipation was a major struggle while I was pregnant. Food aversions was a major struggle while I was pregnant, which meant I was not getting all the nutrients I needed. Blood sugar regulation is a big issue for a lot of pregnant mamas. And then you named, Julia named breast milk production. Amber, you said getting through the day without caffeine. How many moms find out they're pregnant and suddenly they're not allowed to have their caffeine drip anymore? And that's a real battle. Guys, this is awesome. She's going to
I'll
love
chime
it.
in. I'll chime in. So I would, like, if that was the response I got back from somebody, I would send a voice message and I would just connect big time, because I have used Plexus during pregnancy and I have had non-Plexus pregnancies. And let me just tell you, it is so much easier with good supplements. And so I would just probably share, hey, I totally get it. Like feeling tired, feeling exhausted, just feeling just generally overwhelmed. Like I've totally been there. How can I pray for you? Like keep me posted, remind me when your due date is, like just chatting in a little monologue on Voice Messenger. And then I would probably just say, one thing that I noticed, or a couple of things that I noticed in my last couple of pregnancies when I used Plexus and a big thing for me was if I didn't take 4 BioCleanse at nighttime, I would wake up with the worst leg cramps. And my friend Meg lives locally to me. She said the same thing. And so that's been it. So I even pull in other people's little stories like that when I'm talking, just doing a little chat. And then I would probably end with, hey, tell me, are you currently on any supplements? Like, are you on a multivitamin? Does your doctor have you on a probiotic? Like, it's really important at the end of pregnancy that you're on a good probiotic, because the baby gets the microbes from you as the baby's born through the birth canal. And so it's really important. I always up my probiotic at the end. It also keeps the GBS, whatever that is called. Strep B, that's what it's called. Strep B away as well. So keep me posted. Let me know. Like just very casual, not pressuring, but also sharing your perspective as a mom. And if you have experience, even better to share that pre.
Yeah, and I would echo that too, not to be afraid to push back, because I remember when Jessica Gaffley reached out to me about needing to get on the triplex and I shut her down basically, but she came back and said, well, I told her I'm working on my gut through diet is what I told her, which she was really intimidated by that answer. But she did come back and say, I just know that nobody eats 100% perfect 100% of the time. And here's a little document about Candida yeast. And that did stick in my mind. And I did think it over. And I asked my medical husband to read the document. And I asked my medical friend, like, you just never know what little seed you might plant that they might continue thinking over. And I would also use this as a reminder, Cheryl, to keep on posting. Because you made a post earlier this week, you've been doing some reach outs, but these people that you're messaging with are now in your algorithm and they're seeing more of your posts. And so as they see you continue to drip new stories or new benefits you've experienced or that another team member has experienced, that's just dripping to build their belief. And most people need 12 to 15 touch points with Plexus to be ready to order or join. And so you might just be on touch point number 2. And it may be that they need to see a few different testimonies or a few different posts and then have another follow-up from you to be like, oh, I do think I need some of this. So don't post that one time and reach out that 1 or 2 times and go, okay, she's not interested. Remember that this is kind of building their belief, and you're moving them from the first chair in the line to the next chair in the line to the next chair in the line. And if there's 12 to 15 chairs in the line before they're ready to order, you're actually moving them each time you drip a little bit more belief on them. So I just want to encourage you to use this as fuel to continue posting consistently.
Mhm. Yes, so good. Really quick, I really want Margaret to share and unmute because we had the most beautiful conversation in our chat thread this morning. Can I just say the Plexus community is amazing. Margaret was very vulnerable and just sharing something that was hard for her today, some disappointing things that happened. And there was a community of women that came around her and encouraged her in that chat this morning. If you were in it, you know what I'm talking about. So Margaret, unmute real quick. I know we have to finish up here soon, but why don't you just pipe up kind of what's on your heart right now?
So I was just like really frustrated over the weekend. I had a couple parties. Nobody came to one of them. Two people showed up for the second one, and then like they didn't like any of the drinks really. So I was just like I was frustrated, and like the weekend was kind of just like me having one big pity party, which is not a good thing. And like Megan had a really, really good point in our chat thread, which was even if you do even if you're not going to do the activity that you're like you're wanting to do, or you like set your mind to do it anyways. It's going to be imperfect, but do it anyways. And just that like mentality of taking imperfect action is going to keep the ball rolling for you. So like that was really great. And just like hearing everybody's encouraging messages was absolutely awesome. I did have a couple of questions though, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling with just like asking good questions when I do get into a conversation with people. Like what are some go-to questions that are going to get like a conversation flowing about their health, aside from like what are your health goals, like what do you want for yourself, what areas are you struggling with, and like maybe what medications they're taking?
Great question. I guess for me, that's usually my go-to, and where I will ask and lean into those, what they reply back. So if you ask their health goals and then they're like, weight loss, and it's like one liner, no conversation.
Yeah.
I lean into that and ask more questions like, hey, okay, awesome. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, are you struggling with any of these symptoms on this graphic by any chance? And I'll drop that Candida graphic.
Right.
See if that kind of triggers their mind, like, oh, actually, I have all of them in that column. And I will ask even more specific questions. I will send back and say, hey, do you swing between constipation or diarrhea? With any of those? Do you have seasonal allergies? Those are like my 3 top hit questions that I ask, because that basically tells me if they need triplex, which basically I already know people need triplex, but it also gets them thinking about what their specific pain points are. And I know that when we were I think we were at a sip and see at Brooke Slater's house, and her hubby he's a doctor, and he's like, when I do x-rays, he's like, everyone's full of poop, like everybody, like little kids up to all ages. And so I just know, statistically speaking, so many people have gut health issues, but if we can help them see it, because this is the other thing, some people think that going to the bathroom, like going number 2, is like once a week is normal. And like, that's not normal. That's not normal. No wonder you have hormone problems and acne issues and eczema. Like, you're not eliminating every single day, So for me, I try to lean into more of those pain points. Is that helping? Does that help? Okay.
Yeah.
So I just ask more, like try to get them talking by just being more curious about what exactly. If they just have, if they're like, nope, I don't have any of those, then I will go back to the weight loss goal and say, hey, well, tell me what your weight loss goal is. Like, are you thinking like 5 to 10 pounds, or, you're thinking like 50 to 100 pounds? Like, tell me what you're thinking. And so I will have them identify like what is weight loss success to them. And then I like to ask if they're on any supplements or medications currently. That also helps me identify if there's maybe a medication that they're on that's causing or like contributing to weight gain. I think some people don't realize that certain medications that they're on can actually create more
Yeah.
issues for them. Does anybody else, or Carissa, do you have any other things that you would ask?
You named a lot of mine. I typically say, do you have any seasonal or food allergies? Do you have any bathroom issues? What do you deal with on this list? Actually, that's my number one. I say, do you deal with anything on this list? And I send that list. And that list is so extensive. Most people do. And when they tell me what they deal with, I say, oh my gosh, how does that affect your daily life? And I try to get them talking that way.
Oh, thank you. I just saw that you put that in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you.
You haven't,
Oh.
did you have another question too?
Yeah, I have one more quick question. I know you and Justin mentioned, like, if you don't have a team yet, like, focus on yourself, focus on growing yourself. Is there a way that I can do that and like try and grow my team at the same time? I know I don't really have a team aside from my sister. And I've been chatting with her about sharing, but she's very on the fence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I definitely think we do it at the same time. Like, you can grow yourself and work on growing your team at the same time. And like Brenda Martin always says, she's a sweet, sweet friend of mine, mom of 11 kids. If you're not following her on Instagram, make sure you go follow her. She's fun. She always says, you grow personally by working this business. And so by taking the imperfect action and by, taking doing the winning day worksheet each day. If some of you are new on the call and you don't have that little graphic yet, I'll send it over to you. I actually had my assistant make it specifically for Margaret because I wanted it to be visually simple. Like, I didn't want it to look all crazy and overwhelming. So if you need that, shoot me a message and I'll send it over. But I would say when you're in the beginning stages, the name of the game is showing up consistently, like with excitement and expectation that you're here to help one person, and you're going to help that one person, and then God's going to bring you another person. You're going to help that one person. And so I definitely think that obviously work in this business, you're growing personally, but also have something in your earbud. This is for all of us, like myself included, because if I'm not encouraged in some way, shape, or form, and with Plexus, I wax and wane. I get discouraged, or I get down in the dumps, or I get negative, or just get busy and don't think about, I don't have it on my brain. And so I like to have like a little earbud in of something. Brittany Howard has a podcast. Jessica Heffley has a podcast. We have actually a group that Jessica put together with a compilation of all of the One a Day in May videos. So that's on the Momentum Makers group. I can bump that up so that you all can be tapping into some of those little training clips, which are so, so helpful. Carissa, do you have anything that you would chime in on that?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay. So yeah, I would say continue to pop into training and then put into practice the things that you're learning, and really pray, and also continue to just have in mind that you're here to serve and to add value to your audience, to your Facebook audience, to people that you meet in person. And God is going to bring you those people that are looking for you. Like, there's literally people out there that are looking for you. You just haven't met them yet, or they haven't met you yet. I'll tag you in that One a Day in May
Okay.
so that you can check that out. Awesome. Great questions. All right. Well, this wraps up the call tonight. It's 8:45. Thanks, guys, for popping on with us. We'll get the recording up, and we will see you on the Reset Challenge and the Slim Down Challenge coming up. Don't forget about the Sunday night calls as well. Looking forward to a great harvest from those as well. And see a lot of you in Punta Cana. Next week. I can't believe that's happening already. All right. See you all soon.